Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha. The topic for today is Shastra Rakshati Rakshitah. The one who protects the Shastra is protected by the Shastra. So after invoking Veda Vyasa's grace, what we have really chanted is our Namo Namaha, our Namaha again and again to Vyasa. Who is he? He is in the form of Vishnu. What about Vishnu? Oh, Vishnu is in the form of Vyasa. Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. And why are we doing that? Because Vyasa is Brahma Nidhaye. He is the Nidhi, he is the ocean, he is the abode of the Vedas. And of course, in terms of lineage, he stands in the lineage of Rishi Vasishtha. And who is Vishnu? Vishwadharam, the one who sustains this entire cosmic order. Vande Vishnum Bhava Bhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham. Our Vande, our Namaskar, again and again, to that Vishnu who removes the Bhaya, the fear. What if it rains heavily? How will I go home? What if I have an accident? Etc. etc. We all play the what if game brilliantly, and we know how our fears build up. The one who takes away all of that, Vishnu, and Sarva Lokaikanatham, the Lord of all the lokas. So we know that Bhagwan Veda Vyasa in the form of Vishnu wrote the Brahma Sutras, the 18 Puranas, the Mahabharata, and most importantly codified the Vedas in a very elaborate project. And then building on Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah, the one who protects Dharma is protected by it. There is a shloka in Manusmriti which says Vedo Akhilaha Dharma Moolam, which means the root of Dharma. How do we know anything about Dharma? Well, it is the entire Veda. And in the Gita, some people will remember. So, Vyavasthita, Avyavasthita. How do I know what is to be done in life? Tasmat Shastra Pramanam Te. That Shastra is the means of knowledge to figure out what to do, what not to do. But then again, some of us will say, what, why bother? Why bother about the Veda? Isn't it antiquated? Isn't it ancient? Maybe it just needs to rest in the relics of a museum. But we bother about the Veda because the vision of Veda is Purnam. So what we seek all the time. Who is it that doesn't want to be happy at all places, in all situations, at all times, wherever they are? There is no one in this world who doesn't want this. Nobody complains ki aaj my quota of happiness is over. Please, I don't want to be any more happier than this. No one complains. This is universal, and the vision of the Veda is Purnam Adaha. That is Purnam, this is Purnam. When we say Purnam, we're not even talking of abundance, because abundance is excessive quantity. Purnam is completeness, wholeness. That Purnasya, Purnamadaya, even if you remove little from that wholeness, that is you, Purnam avashishyate. Purnam is all that remains. Okay, this is not Purnam that you put in the modak. So Purnam is what your nature is. That consciousness, that reality, that is all that there is. The vision of the Veda is that you are that Ananda that you seek. So at an absolute level, this is why we need to bother about the Veda, because we are all looking to maximize our day, maximize our happiness through our many pursuits. And even relatively speaking, the Veda blesses us with Ananda. How? Through the different prayers, homas, mantras, meditations. You look at the Vedas, you look at the Vedangas, the 6 disciplinary allied disciplines that support the Veda, Jyotisham, so on and so forth. And most importantly, the Shastra teaches us how to be Shriman and Shrimati. So this is very interesting that the poorest person is referred to prefixed with Shriman and Shrimati, right? The woman will be prefixed with Shrimati. The Veda allows us to be Shriman and Shrimati. How? Because of the Srih, the wealth of Arogyam. If you look at all the mantras, many of them, they help you for for avatu. Remember, sahana vavatu, avatu. So that may you have protection. Bhunaktu, may you experience all that there is to be experienced in life. And may you have viryam, may you have the strength, may you have physical vitality, may you have clarity. So the Veda blesses us with the wealth of health, Arogyam. Further, the wealth of Srih, the most obvious one which most of us are concerned about, in the form of land, cattle, property, money, etc. So of course you have your ways, but Veda can enhance the wealth that you have. And of course it can take you all the way to Swarga also. That is if indeed that is your choice. Then the Veda blesses us with connections. Yesterday we celebrated the 60th birthday of Suresh. And what struck me was the wealth of goodwill that he has. So many people gathered to celebrate a person because of the warmth that they have for the person and the goodness that he has spread around. The Veda blesses us with the wealth of Sambandhas-Connections. We are living in a time that we are hyper-connected, but so many experience loneliness. And the Veda teaches us that we are always connected. And it doesn't depend on your Wi-Fi status or Wi-Fi connection. That at any given time, you are connected to all the people around you. Manushyaha Sambandha, which you can convert into a yajna. At any given point in time, you are connected to your ancestors, your pitras, who are blessing you, hopefully. At any given time, you are connected to the environment, plants, animals, trees, forests. At any given point in time, you are connected to Rishis, Acharyas. And at any given point in time, you are connected to Devatas. Wherever you are, this is the wealth of Sambandha that we are all blessed with. And we are able to convert these relationships into yajna, reverential offerings, thanks to the Veda. So there can never be a time that you are truly lonely. You may feel it, but because you have not tapped into the wealth that you already have, the wealth of connection. The Veda blesses us with this. And of course, the wealth of Dharma. So in the Bhagavad Gita, we are encouraged to be like Devatas. That may you have the wealth of Devas, Daivi Sampattih. And what is that? Pots of gold or what? Qualities. Abhayam, fearlessness. Sattva samshuddhihi, tejaha, kshama, accommodation, dhritihi. There are a list of qualities. Sampadam Daivi. This is the wealth of Devas that Luckily, all of us have been given in some measure. And then depending on your investment, you will get good returns. Okay, ROI is pretty good. So because these qualities are going to last you in good stead for your, not only for this lifetime, for lifetime after lifetime, if indeed you were to have that. So the wealth of Dharma, Daivi Sampattih, the Veda blesses us with. And the fifth one is wealth in the form of blessings. So blessings of Devatas, blessings of Rishis, blessings of Siddhas, blessings of Gurus. That, you know, as you walk, wherever you go, you have an army that is walking alongside you. You have an entourage. You know, paparazzi may or may not be there, but entourage of Devatas is there. So wealth of blessings, you know, what is it that you cannot achieve with that? The Veda blesses us with that. And finally, the wealth in the form of Ayuh. So even as a part of our Ashirvad, we aim for Purna Ayuh, right? Purna Ayuh means 120 years. Of course, because of use and abuse, most of us may not make it till then. But that may I have the wealth of time to be able to have a fulfilling life in all ways. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. May my life not be cut short. And so much so that we worship Kala Bhairava, that even time is worshipped because that is the only resource that you cannot earn. However intelligent, however brilliant you are, born, gone. Born, gone. That's the nature of time. And it is such a wealth that we value, we treasure, we invite more and more of time into our lives. So this sixfold wealth that I speak about, the Veda blesses us with, and this wealth gives us Ananda at a relative level, and of course the vision itself is that of Ananda. So really speaking, the Shastra is teaching us how to be Shriman, Shrimati, the one who is ever rich in all these ways, not only in terms of money. And so when I say Shastra, rakshati, rakshitah, the one who protects the Shastra is protected by the Shastra. It is building on dharmo, rakshati, rakshitah. The one who protects dharma is protected by dharma. But how is dharma protected? By a dharmi. The one who lives dharma is a dharmi. The one who lives Shastra may not necessarily be a Shastri, but lives a life of Shastra, which means that they are protecting the Shastra, they are embodying the Shastra in their lives. How do we do that? First, through Acharana, through the way we live our lives, where Dharma becomes the basis, the framework of all our pursuits. So, Puja Swamiji would say, if Dharma had to have a form, then it is Dharmo Vigrahavan Ramaha. So just by seeing how Rama led his life through all the difficulties, we learn a lot from our role models. So whether we are looking at Hanumanji with his Bhakti and Shakti, or any of the other role models in our Ramayana, Mahabharata and so on, they didn't only talk about Dharma, they lived it. And so how are we living our Shastra is a question we ask ourselves, and we bring more of that into our lives. Because the beauty of Dharma is it's self-regulatory. The voice of Dharma is in everyone's heart, really speaking. So I remember it might have been the 2013 or the 2019 Kumbh. So as most of us know, it is built on the riverbed, so it's all sand. And, city, township comes up over a few months. So cars cannot go on it. So then how is it that the police manage these crowds? So there were a couple of policemen on horseback. So I remember talking to one of them, chatting with him. Said, so, for the first time I had seen policemen on horseback. And I said, तो ये आप कैसे करते, क्यों करते हैं? So he said that, when we are on horses, first of all, we are at a height, so we can see the crowd. And secondly, a lot of people fear the horse. They don't know that horses are the most gentle creatures. They will never trample. But the people around think that they will get trampled, and so they regulate themselves. And so crowd management becomes very, very easy. This is the beauty of Dharma, which has a self-regulatory mechanism, that we know that if we do the wrong thing, sooner or later, the hands of law may not get us, but the law of karma will definitely get us. So this Acharana, the self-regulatory aspect of Dharma, the more we live it, the more we see the law of karma operating in our lives, we are upholding and protecting the Shastra. Then Abhyasa, preserving through practice. So as a part of our Vak Tapas in the Gita, there is a mention of Swadhyaya, that most of us belong to some Veda, have some Gotra, and it is a part of your practice to chant. Because how else are you going to preserve it if you don't remember, what? Ashochan or something. You remember some word, but then nothing else comes. So regular study, chanting, attending classes keeps the Shastra alive. So just like we are scrolling this social media, our 5-minute, 10-minute feed, are we able to allot 5 to 10 minutes to be able to chant the Veda or the Gita or whatever it is that we are studying? Because Shastra is like a sacred fire that needs to be tended, and the fuel is what we will really offer. Then Adhyayana, committed pursuit. So many shakhas of the Vedas have been lost because there was no one to study it. And in the Shastra we talk about tat chintanam, tat kathanam, anyonyam, tat prabodhanam. So committed study of Shastra comes not from a casual pursuit. You're thinking about it, you are sharing it with others, you are clarifying your understanding. And that's how the Shastra protects you, because you assimilate the Shastra. And fourth, which is I think very important, is building a Sangha, creating dharmic communities. One thing I really appreciate about Christianity is that their reach out is phenomenal. I remember once my mother was in a hospital that was run by Christians, and all the nurses, they gather in the morning for 15 minutes. Everyone prays. They're going to begin their day. Okay, I don't know whether they are praying so that they convert the others, but still, if indeed they are praying that the patients are healed, that is beautiful. And additionally, one nurse will come to every room, hold the hand of the patient and chant a prayer. We'll check also which language do you know, etc., and possibly chant that prayer in that language. And what a beautiful, thoughtful gesture, that patient knows that somebody is praying for him or her. Or this other practice where, the pastor or the nurse, sister would, as a part of their protocol, every week they will go and visit the home of someone. And in Hindu families, or even in the families of people who attend Vedanta class, there are some of us who are struggling with somebody having an extramarital affair. There are some who will be having ailing parents at home. There will be some who will be struggling with, their son or daughter who has just declared that he or she is gay. There will be someone who will be struggling with being laid off, job-wise. So what are we doing as Hindus in terms of building the Sangha? Because of course we have been protected by the Shastra. Are we protecting the Shastra by sharing the power of the Shastra, the power of prayer? I'm so happy that there are 2 groups that are Vishnu Kripa groups. One group meets every day and chants Vishnu Sahasranama, and there are a lot of petitions that go to them. And this group is chanting, okay? And so many people have been healed and so many people have been helped because of their prayer, the power of collective prayer. And yes, all of us cannot meet every day. Then there is another group in the US, again some students who meet once a week. All they do is chant for everyone. And so only if you are convinced of the power of prayer, in addition to a lot of things, will you share the power of prayer with others. It won't be like, oh, I don't want to disturb them. I don't know what they will think. Well, if you loved a movie, would you think so much about recommending the movie to another person? No, I don't know what the person will think. I better not recommend the movie. Well, if you have discovered the power of prayer, then please share it and let others benefit and see the power of the Shastra. And then finally, adhyapana, supporting the teaching. That you can protect the Shastra if you protect the teachers, the people who embody the Shastra, the gurus, the acharyas, the rishis. And so, while everybody may not become a Vedanta teacher, surely everyone can teach about Dharma. Because we are dharmis, you teach by being a role model, and of course, you teach by sharing what you can with children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, etc. So that everyone can live a life of Sanatana Dharma. Because it is the Veda Pathshalas, the Mathas, the Sampradayas, the Acharyas that need to reach out, and the Sanghas that need to reach out. So only if we are protecting and preserving Shabda Brahman, that we will be protected. So we will be protected in all possible ways. Physically, of course, with health and vitality. Mentally, with clarity, peace of mind. Socially also, because our relationships are, obviously based on Dharma. And we have the blessings of Devas. Generationally also, we will be able to protect future generations. So, as we contemplate this, my best wishes that we may think of how best we can protect the Shastra. Because only by protecting the Shastra, we will be protected in return, because the principle of reciprocity is what is always upheld. So may we all become guardians, worthy guardians of this sacred and eternal wisdom. Om Tat Sat.